You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's RuPaul's Drag Race After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's RuPaul's Drag Race After Show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh, yeah.
Frock the Vote.
Shut it.
Frock the Vote.
Frock the Vote was the episode. Being is for doing.
Do it when you
And
bing.
there you go.
Or bing
and
when you do it.
I'm going to let Ronnie do the honors with our YouTube and iTunes.
Ooh, Bing cherries.
Bing.
All right.
Bing.
Yes, we appreciate all the YouTube comments. I know Jackie goes on there and she talks with the YouTube fans. We want you to
loves her
do.
fans.
She owns
No,
it.
it's
I love you guys.
It's all good, and I think Jackie
Talk to
has
me.
news later on as far as a guest that possibly will come in studio.
Ooh, surprise, surprise.
So that's all good. The only thing that we ask is for you who are supporting us, go a step further. iTunes, we want you to comment on the page. What's so funny? We want you to comment on the page, and we want you to rate our AfterBuzz shows. So that's it. Back to you, Kenny.
Thank you, Ronnie. And I want to know what's so funny, too, because I put my head down for 2 seconds.
Besides
Jackie's
Jackie's
back.
lovely haircut, I love it. I love the length.
Oh, thank you.
We're just gonna flip
Your
What?
flag is
Oh, your
upside
flag is
down.
upside down. That's not a big
I don't
thing.
think you can fix that. But
Yeah, you can.
No,
Oh, it
look
does.
at this. It
Oh,
comes
it snapped
off.
right off. We just
This
want to make
is
sure we're
inside
representing.
news on AfterBuzz. These things come
off.
There you
exactly.
go. She hooked that up.
Thank you guys
real
for
quick.
noticing that. I'm your host, Kenny Harrison. Across from me is Cameron
Oh,
Marston.
Sorry.
Next to me is Jacque Borowski, and that thing you see over there, the help, is Courtney Stewart.
Didn't we learn last night you can't say fish on TV?
Eyes kind.
Apparently, this is like
Use a
grab
trick.
bag.
This is classic because
Use a
he's black.
trick.
He can say it.
Exactly.
I'm offended. I'm offended.
I'm offended.
Why are you offended?
Because I'm Polynesian.
What?
Yeah.
Anyway, we had a good episode last night, and they're gonna rip me for saying that I liked the episode because I kind of didn't. But I'm.
So then say you didn't
I
like
didn't
the
like the
episode.
episode. I was
Why
kinda bored.
not?
Nothing
Why
new.
were you bored?
Well,
Kenny
because-
was wishy-washy last season and the season.
I feel
before
like
that.
we're coming down to the wire, and like they didn't really. The
A
only
lot of
people.
them
Well,
didn't
because
bring
they
it.
didn't step up.
They
to
didn't
it?
step
Yeah.
up to the
Okay,
challenge.
so you weren't offended by like what the setup was and what they had to do.
well,
you just didn't like what they brought.
My only gripe about the setup is that they did the mini challenge, and that was worthless because it didn't set anything up for the main challenge.
How intense is a grip as opposed to a gripe?
What?
You said grip. Sorry. Just,
Gripe, grip, whatever.
I want you to speak
Well,
correct-
if you
correctly.
know the answer to that question,
Proper
call us
Anglaise.
424-256-1729. First impressions of the episode, Jackie.
I agree with you, actually. I didn't have a problem with the theme of the episode, but I had a problem with the fact that I didn't feel the queens were bringing it to the theme for the most part.
That's okay.
For the most part,
Yeah,
there
I
are
agree.
exceptions.
Cameron, what do you got?
Okay. I think if that was that's how you feel, I would have I don't know. I think RuPaul should have, if that's what they wanted, then maybe Ru should have expressed that maybe you guys want to take this a little bit more seriously because drag is a little bit on the lighter side. It is levity. I mean, if it's not drag, then you're a tranny. You know,
Right.
I don't take it that
Right.
seriously. So I mean, if they wanted them to be serious and use it as a platform, okay, Dan Savage, I get it. It gets better, or hopefully
that-
it gets better. It might get better.
That was the problem I think that everybody was having, was they didn't know what to do, because for drag you would assume that you put on a character and you put on a shtick, but then you have him coming in and asking very serious questions in the workroom, which then turns it around to, okay, do I have to do something serious now? So I think you're right, there was this element of confusion.
Courtney.
I think some of them just sucked, and that was fine, and I was
Right.
okay with it because they sucked. DiDa Ritz is dumb.
DiDa Ritz is dumb.
Okay, I agree with Jackie because I was confused too because it is drag and
Good,
it's
'cause
supposed
she
to be
agreed with
funny.
you, too.
And the thing is, Dan Savage came in and everything you just said, he was like, okay, so what is your stance on this? And they're trying to do something funny, and it made him, he was like, oh, well, let's be serious. Now, the one thing I do like about this episode is that it's about voting, and this is an appropriate year for them to do that because everyone should vote, whether you're a transsexual, bisexual, gay, straight, Courtney, everyone should vote.
Well, while we're on Dan Savage, I mean, because he was a little worried about Chad Michaels doing the pimp character.
Right.
But at the end, he loved it. So,
Right.
I mean, just because he has an idea what he thinks they should do doesn't necessarily mean it's correct.
Right.
Just saying.
It should have been clarified.
It did get better.
It was not clarified.
Yeah.
Because I was confused. I was like, okay, so they'd be supposed to be serious or because
Because-
you had Latrice who was serious.
Come on, it's a drag show.
Yeah,
Did
but
you really
even-
think they're going to be
but
serious?
But here's the thing: is even Chad was like, I don't understand why he's coming in with these like heavy hitting political issues because drag's supposed to be light and it's supposed to be funny.
Right.
And so you could see that he just went with his gut, and he ended up being one of the better people in my opinion.
Right.
Seriously, do you want to see some man in women's clothing crying
What were you-
crying about being beaten up as a kid? No.
Oh, that's gonna be a special topic. We'll talk about that later. So,
Okay, he shut me up.
in review,
Shut up,
no.
Courtney.
Let's go backtrack. The
Slip
mini
our
challenge.
flow.
The mini challenge. They had to perform platforms.
Which had nothing to
Well,
do
I
with
get platform.
platform like the
The platform. What you're.
what
yeah.
platform
That
you're
was
standing
funny.
for, but
Okay, so Phi Phi won, but she didn't have to choose anybody to do anything. She didn't get a prize.
She
it was
got to
pointless.
say she won and stop being bitter
For once.
about
Okay.
5
Stop being
seconds
bitter
of the
for once.
episode.
I mean, she made the comment not just slap on some fur, referring to
Sharon
Needles, but what is she
She
basically
slapped
just
on
slapped on some
everything.
fruit, right?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, I don't know.
and
whatever.
She's a
Sharon
hater.
poured stuff in the shoe.
And I like the fur.
I like the fur too.
And I like the whole Navajo concept. I wish I
Yeah.
had some
Dream
gambling
catchers
poker
hanging
chips.
chips.
off.
Yeah.
It was funny.
She's hilarious.
I think that was a waste of my 10, 15 minutes of
I
that
think
segment.
they needed to sell vodka.
Yeah.
And
And
he
so
and
that
the
was
guy,
just
what's his name?
so much
Jeffrey
fun.
Moran
Moran.
was there for no reason. He stood
Selling
there.
vodka.
Okay, no, but he stood there and didn't say anything
'Cause he's
for
a
the.
sponsor.
Okay.
He was pretty.
He's a poster boy for. I mean, there must be some kind of surgery for the bags under your eyes. I don't care if you tan, you still can see there were orange bags under his eyes. That was crazy.
Don't talk
I
about the
was
old prize.
I wasn't paying that much attention.
My question
You
is,
lie.
and
I
maybe
really wasn't.
Whatever.
I saw
que-
the shoes at
When the crew
beginning.
boy, the pit boys come on, you're paying attention.
Of course.
P.S. When they had the table, they do like a crotch shut span
I
across the
know.
table. I was like, woo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And their little panties.
Well,
Their little manties.
Kenny, stop looking at Grindr to watch the TV.
Brief manties.
Maybe
I was not on
someone. And
Grindr, I
this
was
is
on
the
Scruff.
one question I had when they were handing out the drinks, because they're always drinking in the Interior Illusions Lounge,
Weird.
and then because the show's sponsored by Absolut, and so then they're handing out the Absolut drinks, and I'm like, wondering, are they actually drinking during the show or not? Or
Yeah.
I hope so.
yeah, I think they are. Because RuPaul says, while you guys are enjoying a drink in the.
If Kenny says it,
I
you
know,
heard
but
it here
it's like-
first.
Exactly.
But that might be a question we can ask a special guest, because I really want to know if they're drinking or not, because it would be hard to perform drag if you're drinking that much.
No, but this is after. Right?
We're
No, she was
drinking
talking about during, like,
during
while
the
No,
they
you
were
had
work.
one drink. I don't think one drink is gonna do anything.
No.
Of course not.
But maybe if you're
'Cause
like
Light
little and
on.
an upstart like Phi Phi, it might make you worse.
No.
Fifi's
Let's
got
hope
enough
not.
gut to hang on to that.
What do you
It'll
guys
be
think
fine.
about her and Sharon Needles doing a Willem impersonation?
That was funny.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
I like it. You didn't like it? Jen?
No.
Why?
Because for Sharon, it's funny. And here's the thing. For Sharon, it's funny because Sharon just does everything in kind of like a lighthearted jest. For Phi Phi, it's like really bitter, and it's coming from a deep, embittered, like poisonous place. So for her doing that,
Ooh, save it
it's
for
like,
special topics. I got something to say about that too.
yeah.
Okay.
So like for Phi Phi, it's coming from a place where she's like, yeah, I just want to, like, I'm so glad to be rid of her, and I just want to be bitter about it. Whereas Sharon's just like, haha, I like to make fun of everything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the one
For the
problem
record, Fifi was not bullied as a kid.
So that's the one problem I
You
had.
just
And
can't
I-
hold it together until the end, can you?
I just hope.
Oh, wait, for just a second.
I just hope it's Willem who comes back after seeing
Gosh,
after
why
seeing
is
that
everyone getting
clip.
ahead of?
We're not there yet, people.
I'm just saying, after seeing that clip,
She's getting upset.
after seeing that clip of them making
want
fun
Willem
of
to
her,
come
I
back,
want Willem to
okay.
come back and comment on
This
it,
is how
especially
you
to
navigate
Fifi.
our ship, Kenny.
Well, I'm just saying, we're in rough waters now. Anyway, main challenge.
Vagina.
Can you turn all their microphones off, please? Thank you. Main challenge. They had to come up with
I see eggs.
an opening, closing, and a platform for their debate.
Yes.
I'm never wrong. You wrong right now. You skipped right over that. That was classic.
What happened?
Great.
Latrice telling Fifi off.
Latrice
That
was
was
Never
awesome.
wrong.
And I thought it was funny
to
when
debate in
Sharon
high
was
school.
making fun of her, making fun of Fifi, and she's like,
Like,
I
"You're
took
not done yet?"
I took 7 to 8 years of debate, and I'm an attorney.
Yeah, that was funny.
Oh, the two of them. The two of them, though, Latrice and Sharon, would be great on just like reading people all day long.
Well, I feel is Sharon old school? How old is Sharon? Sharon's about what?
No, Sharon was young.
30?
Like 20.
20?
Her
Hi.
comedy comes from pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real
She's been
pain.
beat up.
Real
a
pain,
lot.
not Fifi pain.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, I think
Remember?
Fifi's like debate classes
First episode,
and attorneyness.
I voted for you, girl.
You voted for Sharon.
I'll go back and watch it
didn't
now.
get to vote.
No one
'Cause you
cared
were
about it.
mean.
Whatever. I'm not a bully though.
Oh, look
I
where
never
we
bully-
at. Oh, I
We
actually
are-
like being down on a poll.
I'm gonna need y'all to focus.
So Dan comes in, and we talked
Who's
about this.
Dan?
Dan
Danny boy.
Savage.
Daddy
boy.
Sorry.
He comes in and he's, giving them critiques. Actually, he was pretty much giving them answers to the
Yes.
questions. Like Latrice was like, I want everyone to have a piece of Latrice, and he was like, why don't you say peace with Latrice? Okay, I'll use that. Like, okay.
Because piece of, and that's what I mean. That's what I meant when I said earlier that they were thinking funny, like piece of Latrice. That would have been really funny. And then he changes it over into something that is more like politically sound.
but my
so that's why it's confusing.
My problem is him just giving her the answer instead of like letting her figure it out for
Right.
herself. He just basically gave.
He
the
gave her a
answer.
suggestion.
That's
She
not a
decided to take that.
She took it and I thought I was bored with it, but anyway. Anything else with Dan? Seriously,
There was like 4 other people.
so he talked to
He slammed-
Sharon Needles. What did he say to her? Something about going down on a pole. We just said that, right?
he said that wouldn't work in the polls or something like that. And she says, I love to go down.
That wouldn't go
Polls.
down well with the poll.
I
Yes.
like going down on polls.
That made him laugh, which was funny.
It made me laugh.
What did he say to Fifi?
I don't know.
Okay.
Did he say anything to Fifi?
I don't think they shut
I
that.
have started to like have black spots in my head from where Fifi goes.
Jackie's emotionally angry at Fifi. It was Jiggly, now it's Fifi.
Yeah. So
Especially
my
in
mind
the
black
black.
out any conversation
Well,
that
especially
I
when we
didn't
get to
find
Runway.
funny.
We know
that
that
happened with
she's
Fifi.
Team Willem. She's been Team
Oh,
Willem
I'm
from
Team Willem.
just like she was Team Austin and Team James. So she's very when
Oh,
she.
it was
blonde
Team
thing.
Chase.
Oh, okay. Sorry. See, Team Chase. Once she gets on a team, she's.
I'm a loyal team member.
Exactly.
Even if you're doing crazy shit, I will still be behind you.
So
Even if you're kicked off the show,
like Willem.
like Willem.
She is excited right now.
I know she is. What you got in that cup?
I
Anyway,
drank coffee before coming.
can we just go on to the main challenge?
Oh God.
Because there's nothing. Because it was just nothing happening.
Yes.
I'd actually like.
Okay.
Fuck off.
Then talk. Then say
Oh,
something.
angry.
Where are we?
See.
We're right before the main challenge.
So they're all.
Oh yeah, I
Dan
thought we were on
Savage.
the main challenge.
Yeah, we're on the main challenge now. Main challenge.
Okay, no, go back.
Jeez.
Dan Savage. I mean, okay, so he's knowledgeable about politics, and of course he started itgetsbetter.org and all of that, but doesn't mean he knows anything about
Drag.
drag.
Right.
So I take it with a grain of salt. And okay, he has some suggestions. Doesn't necessarily mean you should follow it. Like Chad Michaels. I liked Chad Michaels in
I
the main
thought he
challenge.
was-
Now that we're back on the main challenge.
We're on the yes. So Chad Michaels was the pink disco queen / pimp,
Yeah.
which was funny.
Chad Michaels and Sharon Needles are my two favorites.
Well,
and
they
those
were the only ones that I actually cared about, except
Yeah.
when Latrice read Fifi. What was the
She
question?
said.
She said-
That was so great.
The question was along the lines of
About
How
5
do you
minutes
keep
ago.
the peace?
No.
Or how do
what do you do with people that are ugly to you and something of along those lines?
Can you forgive or something? She goes,
Yeah.
well, I did about 5 minutes
minutes
ago
ago.
with
When
Miss Phi Phi, whatever. She was ugly.
But I'm at peace with that. And I saw Chad Michael hang her head and started laughing.
It was hilarious.
It was funny.
Fifi was annoying.
Because
Fifi
that's
was
old
terrible.
school read. That's how you read somebody. You don't wait for the punchline. You just roll with it and keep going. You let people catch on. It's all good.
And she does it with a straight face, and that's also what Sharon Needles does.
Right.
Like the two of them, like Fifi hypes up about it. The two of them can deliver lines point blank and then move on.
Right?
Right.
There's nothing worse than somebody who laughs at their own jokes.
No, Fifi laughs at her own jokes all the time.
Well,
Pee Pee la
Pee-pee.
snaggle too.
so
yeah, she like the whole.
well,
It was confetti.
Oh, here she goes. She's about to blow. She's gonna blow.
what do you? So you want to talk about the help?
Yes, she was.
I don't know what you're looking at me for.
What is this? Only black people can be offended by Fifi?
Who said I was offended?
You're not offended, Courtney?
I'm not offended.
Oh, why not?
I
Because
was-
Fifi's a trick bitch.
I was so offended. And then the other problem is, I agree with them that if you're gonna have a certain type of joke, I think about when Tina Fey did Sarah Palin. She did it in such a way that it was, you know, it was like it made the jokes okay, but it's also because she looked like Sarah Palin. It's like this character comes out of nowhere and is just ranting.
It's
at
There's no
also,
these
reference.
people.
it's also Tina Fey. Whatever
I was
Tina
gonna say
Fey does.
Fifi isn't exactly Tina Fey
Right.
material
There's
to
no
begin with.
yeah,
so I
there's
wasn't-
there's no point of reference. It just comes off as like weird and hateful.
I just don't. I think it wasn't a build up to it because it was like she was talking about being like airheaded, and then she brings up the help. I'm like,
You know, first of all, I probably would think twice about making that kind of joke. But if I was going to, I would make sure damn straight that's gonna land well.
Yes.
Right.
because it flopped.
If it was Latrice should have just been like, right at the back of her head.
And
They
the
were
other
next
thing
to
is,
each other.
From two
something.
people away.
From two people away, just smack and knock her over. Knock her glasses
And
off.
I think the best that DiDa Ritz did in this entire episode was her reactions. I laughed. I laughed at her
Yes.
reactions every
I don't
time.
even do
Talk,
windows.
but-
She was by far the worst.
yeah,
was
her
all-
answers sucked, but her
And then she would
reactions
get
were
excited
amazing.
to answer.
And her hair was stupid. And her outfit
What was the
stupid.
pearls and the
I don't
dress and the big belt and
I don't know.
Some dog ate all her wigs.
and she didn't answer
All her
anything.
She didn't.
She
No.
couldn't answer a question.
But this goes back to when I feel like when they were actually there shooting it, they really didn't know which way to go. Like,
Yeah.
obviously
But you
Chad.
pick.
I
You
was gonna say
pick.
obviously
And you
Chad
commit.
Michaels,
Thank you.
Chad Michaels and Sharon Needles, they committed, and it worked.
Well,
Yeah.
I think
It
Dida's
only
young.
works
I
if
think
you really
Dida's young and
commit.
naive,
That's
not only in
a
real life but
bullshit
also
excuse.
Yeah, it
in
is.
the drag world.
That's a booty.
Yeah, but you ain't no drag girl.
I'm just saying, but the whole like Chad Michaels, she didn't have all the answers, but she picked on the lights, which was funny. And
But I will say, when Kenny did drag, he was fully committed.
I never did drag.
Oh,
Why won't
Foxy.
you come in drag?
Pick out the shoes.
He's trying to lie.
Why can't you just come in here one time?
You ain't got to lie,
and
Craig. I'm
drag
just
and
saying.
host as
I
your
will not do
queen
it.
Counterpart.
I am not getting paid for this.
He thought he was
dress
you,
like a
actually, girl. He was
man.
flocking.
Yeah, I did
I
have
know,
a
he
fro.
wants to be
It was
me.
big.
He's been wanting to be me his whole life.
I want your temple too.
Anyway,
Anyway, so the challenge was over.
The challenge was over as this
And then
conversation.
they go to the main stage and they have to dress like they're going to the inaugural ball.
Okay.
Horrible.
Yeah. The only
And
person
see, this is the thing. It's like
I
go
agree
ahead.
with Santino, but this is also because I watch Project
and you
Runway.
like Santino.
And I
I
like
like him
Santino,
too.
but Chad Michaels is the only person who looked like she was going to an inaugural ball.
Right.
The rest of them looked like they were going to a party.
But I like Sharon Needles' dress. Though.
I liked her dress.
I liked
I
her
liked
look.
her concept and
Right.
all of that. So even though I didn't,
She
love
committed.
it, she
Yeah.
and it made
Committed.
sense. But it
Right.
made sense.
Yes.
Like she made it make sense. The
Yes.
rest of them, I was like, oh, Latrice.
Because the most poignant statement was, let's be realistic. We're not gonna have a drag
Yeah.
president.
Yes.
In
that
100
was,
years.
I mean, yeah, that
it was intelligent.
Yeah.
That was an
Inaugurate that.
intelligent, that was an intelligent response.
Right.
So,
DiDa.
You didn't like the blonde
Oh my
streaked
gosh.
hair and the
no. Just
and the
no.
black dress.
Just no.
For fans of Courtney, she hasn't had her Oreo shake today.
I know. All I had
And she
was
barely
a
had her
burger
hat.
that I ate in 3 minutes, and I don't even remember it. So it's almost like I didn't eat it. DiDa Ritz. Okay, boo. It's not Beyonce, get on stage and do your thing moment. And I understand you love your hair, but you would not wear that.
No.
Don't lie.
You wouldn't wear that to an
Not
inaugural
wear that
ball.
to the inaugural
And-
ball.
What
And
about
on
Phi Phi
the-
and her? I want to call it the.
Oh
the
wait, but
poofa.
in defense of DiDa, this was the most attractive I've ever seen her face.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
I
that's
don't
what
think she
Michelle
liked a thick
Visage
man.
was saying. She was
Yes.
like, you'll have two things right and one thing wrong.
Yeah.
And on Untucked, I think it was Michelle Visage was saying that maybe she could have done her hair up. She could have.
She could have done
She
a crazy
could,
updo.
but she could have even brought back that Chicago short wig.
That's a
and
hard
had,
one
like,
though. Speaking of Michelle and DiDa, because
Just have
Michelle's
clean hair.
no, because she is so broad shouldered. It's a trick to do her hair up when you're that broad shouldered.
Yeah, but
Unless
she's
you're gonna
still.
stand sideways.
Well, there's partial updos
She could have
that
done
she could
something.
have done.
Yeah. Have you
If it
noticed-
hadn't been crazy, it was
Yeah.
like, club hair. Like, it was cool, but
Yeah.
it was like, no.
Or maybe pull it back and have it come over one shoulder.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm just saying.
Why can't she walk a straight line? That bothers me.
Because that's her
Because
thing.
She always
Shit,
walks.
sure.
Because she thinks she's working it.
And then Phi Phi walking like
Phi Phi always
she's
walks
doing.
like this.
She's taking baby steps.
But the flip side is like Chad Michaels. She's always walking pageant, which I don't necessarily like either. There's
No.
no personality to it, and that's why I understand what Michelle was saying. Like we don't really know the real you.
I actually disagree because it's like Chad Michaels. They keep what I don't get is they'll tell certain people that they need to put on characters, and then they'll tell other people that they shouldn't be doing characters.
And that's the
it's
thing.
conflicting.
I agree because every week they say, "Oh, we see Sharon Needles do the same thing. Give us something different." But that's why we like her,
Yeah.
And then Chad Michaels hasn't been doing the same thing. She's just been changing her look.
She does.
Well, there's
yeah.
something that.
And they're trying to say well, we don't really know who the real. And this was the issue with Pandora Box a couple of seasons ago. She's always got these quirky,
Just
but
her
we
shtick.
we don't know who. This is drag. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's
And
not
this
my
is-
point about Chad Michaels, but go ahead.
I don't remember what I was going to say. No, I get what they're saying about Chad Michaels, and I think when I guess I watched Untucked, I don't know if it was on Untucked or on the actual episode when they're talking about who Chad Michaels actually is and why her personality doesn't show
Come up on the
best
runway.
on runway because it's not this extroverted, crazy
right.
attitude, whatever. Like you're
He's
not
a
going to get that, so
do-gooder.
it's not for a runway. Like it's not going to be expressed that way. So
Right.
I understand that they feel like they feel like all they get to see is the pretty character person, but at some part, I guess the point of drag is there still has to be an element of who
you.
you are and what you represent, and they want to feel that from you. And I don't know how he can feel because he was all depressed, like I don't know how to express. who
No,
I
but
am.
He's
I
been doing it
feel
for so
that though.
long.
I
Yeah.
feel it. He's like, if I would describe, he has one core character, and that core character is the very like old seasoned drag queen that comes through in
And
every.
But that's
that's-
not him. That's not him.
He
He's-
is.
That's
He's
what he
a-
does.
But
But I feel
They
like
wanna know
Latrice
who
does the
he
same
is.
thing though. Like she has the same makeup.
But I feel
every
like
week.
you feel who Latrice is.
Latrice
like,
has presence. That's the
present,
difference.
yeah.
Chad Michael doesn't have presence. She
just
has
stands
she
there.
has the appearance. What I'm saying is I've been to drag pageants, which are multi-category, but Chad Michaels is very pageanty, not like straight girl pageant. It's a drag pageant feel to her, and it's almost it's all up front surface, which I get. She's pretty, and I actually think she's entertaining, but I understand now like there's no personality. Whereas with Latrice, you actually feel her presence. You feel the person behind the makeup.
But they always
Chad
ask
plays
her.
different
But they always
personalities.
ask Latrice questions while they're on the runway. They rarely ask Chad Michaels any questions. So I wonder if that has something to do with it.
Well, after a certain point, maybe it's just vacant. Like they're not getting anything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, what else am I supposed to say?
I
and
like
do
Chad
for you?
Michaels.
I
do.
I don't think they dislike her. I think they just want more.
Right.
Because I think she has it. I think she has. I mean, she's in the running. I would pick Willem over her.
Right.
And not just because Willem's funny, because there is some sense of personality behind it.
Right.
well, because
She might be
Willem-
crazy. It's like
Willem
Sharon
has-
Needles. She's a bit crazy too.
Willem has created like a persona. But I don't know. I still feel that Chad has an underlying like persona under all of it. It's just like she's just a very serious person, and it's hard to create a flamboyant character from a person who's very like serious and seasoned underneath it all.
Like I think for me, Chad, I feel like this is Chad's job.
Well,
It is.
Well, it's
No,
kind
I
of a
get-
job for
but
all
it's
of them, though.
Not necessarily.
It's one of those things. Like I feel like he is just so polished. It's almost like it's
like
slippery. You can't get to.
You can't.
'cause-
What is that saying? You can't teach an old dog new tricks. kind of thing.
Ish.
Sure.
But like I said, I mean, this is her job. It's not a passion so much anymore.
Yeah.
She did the work. You're stuck in this. You don't have. It's almost like this is her second nature.
It's a robot.
Yeah, like Sharon can walk out of it as a boy like that. Chad, you're not gonna catch Chad out in the public very often like that. She can still have makeup because she has all that stuff. I think it's hard for me to. I don't know. I don't think she's gonna win.
Let's back it up a little bit. We forgot to mention RuPaul's
did we?
rainbow.
I love the rainbow. You didn't like the rainbow?
I like the color. I just didn't like the silhouette of the dress.
I was thinking.
I like the
very
silhouette, but not the color. I'm the
BCBG
opposite.
meets like I don't know.
A unicorn?
Yeah.
That is a unicorn.
The unicorn.
That's the
bitch.
first thing I thought of was
I just-
unicorn.
Ugly.
It wasn't, and the hair was fun. Like it was.
I like the hair.
thought it was simple.
I like the hair.
I like the colors. I didn't really like the way it looked.
See, I liked the way the silhouette was. I didn't really like the colors
colors
because
were
it was
fine.
too much to me. And then the belt looked like a seatbelt.
But that's why I liked it.
It was alright.
Because it was like
It was
utility.
like you're on a rainbow utility ride.
Jeez. Wow. So,
Oh, okay.
all right. So Sharon ends up winning the challenge, which I'm glad because
Right.
she had the best
She wore
personality.
a pantyhose.
And she wore pantyhose. And then
She's
Latrice.
smart.
Oh,
She's
we didn't
smart.
talk about Latrice's dress.
Why?
First of
Don't.
all,
I did like
There's no
Sharon's
reason
lips.
to.
Sorry.
my thing was I didn't even notice that it was a bra until Santino
How
brought
could
it
you
up.
not?
I thought it was a part of the dress.
No, that would be oddly cut.
Oh.
Yes.
So it was cut.
Because you could
like-
see the fat strap and then it goes out a little wider. That was.
Why
a
did
mess.
she? I'm just confused.
She said it made her titty look funny. I'm like, okay.
I just like when Michelle was like, psh, psh. I shouldn't have to tell you that.
You shouldn't. I was very disappointed in Latrice. Of all of them on the runway,
Right,
I was
to
most
hold- to do
disappointed with
that.
her.
And to jump into that, because I mean, also, well, speaking of editing, because in Untucked, they show where, I don't know where it was placed, where Latrice not lays in, but actually confronts Santino
Yes.
about his comments toward her. It was more personal than actual constructive criticism. So maybe I'm wondering if that was because I didn't pay attention to whether the strap was up
on or down.
Yeah.
We have to
So
look at that.
that'd
See,
be
that's
interesting.
what makes it hard. It's like when you watch the show and then you watch Untucked, it's hard to place a time frame into
Yeah.
And
what happened.
I just for the show's sake, it's good because you actually have to watch the Untucked
makes you watch
to
again.
get the
and you
whole.
want to, to get the whole
So
picture.
that's a good point.
But it is true. I mean, we all agree that that strap should not have been up, no matter how bad your titty looked.
Yeah.
Then you shouldn't have worn
and I
that
mean,
dress.
you
Shouldn't
have
have
enough
wore the
lumps
dress.
and bumps. It kind of look that bad.
Yeah.
It didn't
I'm
look
gonna
bad at
go
all.
back to Latrice when she comes out dancing or lip syncing for her life. Sorry, we can move on.
That's the next
Oh.
order of business.
Wait, did we talk about everybody's outfit?
Yes. We talked about DiDa. We talked about we didn't
We
talk
didn't talk
about
about
Phi
Phi
Phi.
Why not?
Really?
It was white and it was gross.
It was stupid.
And she
Why
couldn't
did she have
walk.
that hair?
I don't know.
It
Her
looks like
lashes.
if
Didn't
she's gonna do that, she has to do like what RuPaul does, which is make it look brushed and
Like it's waving. in
Not
the
Yeah.
wind.
not only that, she reverted back to her crappy dark makeup.
Yeah.
She made
Yeah.
herself look older. If you're gonna do hair that big, then you should lighten up your face. I'm just saying.
I was,
She looked.
it was
And
like
that dress.
bad.
She's a bad version of pageant
Yeah.
for me. Chad is polished pageant. Fifi is
cheap.
Fifi
country
is
pageant.
Okay. So
She does not like Fifi.
Latrice. Yeah, tell us how you really feel about
You know
Fifi.
how I feel about Fifi. I feel that Fifi might, and Courtney will get this reference. Did you see Project Runway All Stars?
left out.
How Michael Costello like slid into the top 3.
Ew.
Michael Costello is like
Ew.
the worst, and
Ew.
he managed to slide into the top
What?
3. I think this is what's gonna happen.
Well, because even in his own season, do you remember? Like,
Yeah, he was a
but
whiner.
I feel he was, but I feel like he still got the short end of the stick from the other people unnecessarily. Anyway, go on.
And I feel like
I have a little sympathy for Michael
Fifi
Costello.
is the Michael Costello of this like series. She's gonna slide into the top 3, and then I'm just gonna be praying for her to not.
I
get
will
it.
admit though, when they were doing Untucked and she was sitting there and her lashes were like up to here and she keeps doing this like, and she's talking and she's driving me crazy. I was like, this trick get cut off. Please kick her
It's
off.
so funny.
I hate her.
Okay, so bottom 2, Latrice. And
I had 1 week where I liked her and I thought it was gonna go.
I
positive.
liked her the first week, and
I-
then yeah.
No, you liked her for like 4 episodes.
never-
I think I
Whatever.
liked her in like
Never.
week 4,
So,
and it was
I
over.
didn't. Remember
So
that?
the help were in the bottom 2,
Keep
and
on talking, slave. Keep on talking.
and they lip sync for your life or
We
their
knew
life.
Latrice was gonna get
Until
Until
Yeah.
you do right by me.
Now, did she get rid of the belt? The belt was gone.
The belt and the shoe, the
No,
corset and the shoe
that
is
was
gone.
not okay. She did a great job, but
Yeah.
not okay.
I'm sorry, but Dina took her clothes off.
Yeah, she did.
Why was that okay.
wasn't.
Somebody
did.
explain that to me.
I didn't expect DiDa to make it anyway, but
Right.
my thing was like, Latrice, girl, no.
Latrice's
why?
Well,
season. We
Latrice
expect
was
better from Latrice.
In her defense, though,
She's a big girl.
she's a big girl, and she was going to church.
yeah.
So if you go to church, those of you that may know,
Oh, I
they
know.
come
I'm
out their
just.
shoes,
They
they
come out
start
their
taking
clothes,
stuff off,
yeah.
and they dance around. So I was kind of accepting it as a part of that mood that she was building.
Right.
I was not okay with DiDa standing there like, oh, but just take it off.
Yeah,
And,
it just
like,
came
there was
off,
no reason.
and the hair was just flipping back and forth.
Then you should have put your bra strap
Because
back
she
on.
thinks she's Beyonce, and she literally was in her leotard,
Right.
like, I'm gonna throw my hair.
So DiDa went home, no surprise there.
Shocking.
And then the end of the episode,
Then
we
the
get
big surprise
we
comes.
get one more back, like we did last season with the nude one. So
Oh,
we're
you're
gonna,
not cutting this show short. You go to commercial. We're coming back.
we're gonna cut to commercial, and we're gonna
Because
come
the
back.
game ran long.
Ew.
They started late.
AfterBuzz TV. Hi, I was once like you, a lazy, angry loner whose only joy was watching TV and surfing the net. And like you, after I'd see one of my favorite TV shows, I'd be so excited and have so many questions that I'd actually have to talk to my douchebag coworkers about it at the water cooler. Then I discovered AfterBuzzTV.com. AfterBuzz TV produces after-show webcasts and podcasts for TV series of all kinds, like post-game wrap-up shows for all your favorite TV shows. AfterBuzz TV hosts are industry insiders who break down episodes of shows, take calls from fans, and interview cast and crew from each series, with over 60 different after shows, from Boardwalk Empire to American Idol to Vampire Diaries to Real Housewives, and more. Now, after a night of TV, I can ignore my stupid coworkers, who I hate, and go straight to my desk and watch or listen to all my favorite AfterBuzz TV after shows, and have all the TV fan interaction I need. Thank you, AfterBuzz TV. AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about?
And we're back.
Polka dots and stripes.
Hello.
Yay.
I need to remind my co-host that this is RuPaul's Drag Race and not Project
You
Runway.
don't
Remind
have to
yourself.
remind us.
I'm
We
just
know
saying.
what's going on.
Anyway.
It's RuPaul's Project Runway.
So we're into our special topics, and
Here's a special topic, so I'm going to cut you off. Gagging just means shocked. It can be good or bad. So when you hear gagging amongst the gay community, it doesn't necessarily mean like
gagging.
puking. Like I'm gagging. Oh,
made me
girl, I
gag.
gagged. That could be good or bad.
I'm
Like, that
gagging at
outfit
your
is sickening. I
eyeshadow.
was gagging. Or like, girl, he fucking read me. I'm gagging. Got it? Good.
Word of the day. Hey.
AfterBuzz TV
Okay.
exclusive.
That's the 5Gs. That's the 5Gs. Go
I
ahead.
was taken by surprise
Get a
by
grip,
that.
girl.
Okay.
I'm gagging.
Okay, I am gagging. So there's this movie coming out. It's called Bully. And
sorry.
basically,
Isn't it already out?
well,
Is it?
it's out, but there's this whole thing that it's rated R, and the whole purpose of the movie is supposed to be for teenagers and for college or for high school kids.
Who see
And
rated R movies anyway?
No.
so there was this whole fight to get it PG-13, and this goes into our special topics about bullying. And in this episode, a lot of the queens, relived their childhood about being bullied, and it was very sad sometimes. Now, Cameron wants to go ahead and talk about the difference in bullying a certain type of person. Go ahead, Cameron.
Well, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but this is my personal opinion. Where, so I was comparing, and I was talking with Jackie during screening, comparing Sharon Needles, who really never brought up the bullying aspect until this episode, as far as
she was
I
probably
know.
asked. She was asked.
Yeah, so she didn't just throw it out there, as opposed to Phi Phi, who is constantly bringing up when she used it with Jiggly and blah, blah, blah. My thing is being queer. And I'm not saying this is right by any means, but the difference for me with Phi Phi and Sharon is Sharon I can see being bullied because she was different. She was weird, not just because she was gay, maybe because she was gay, but she was different. Whereas Phi Phi got her ass beat because she was annoying, she was a whiner, and she probably was a shit talker and a crybaby and a snitch. Two different reasons for getting bullied. Not that
Shit
anybody should be bullied.
Okay, that was
but
my
don't
question.
try
But
and
is that really
don't-
bullying
but-
if you do all that?
Right, no, I know. That's what I'm saying, right? See, so we're on the
I'm
same
just
page.
asking.
But don't try and hide yourself under the umbrella of being bullied because you were gay if you were a annoying,
Do we know this for a fact?
We don't. I'm not
No,
saying.
nobody
I'm just
went to
saying
school with
that's
Fifi.
that's the impression. She's not making a good impression. I mean, if you're a Fifi fan, you can tweet me and tell me off. I welcome it, but try
she have
and
any
make me.
fans?
Yeah, I think she does. But try
Like
and make
three.
me try and convince me otherwise. She is not looking good on national television. I'm sorry. You can try and rationalize it, but serve me something because it ain't happening. She is a mess on a plate.
Hot trash.
And that's I agree with you because it's like from the
You
perspective.
remind me of the boys on the couch over here.
know.
That one
I was
episode.
the boys on the couch.
I know.
It does.
From one perspective, I agree. From
That
one
was Natalie.
perspective, from the perspective of that person, it could seem to be like let's say you were Fifi and you would be like, oh, I'm being bullied, you know, because I'm gay. But in reality, it could be a reaction from other people saying, okay, you were a jerk to me, so I have to respond.
And let's make it clear that gay
We
people
don't know.
aren't the only ones that are getting bullied. I mean, people
Of
get
course.
bullied for
Oh,
their
yes.
size. They get bullied because
Girls
of their
just
color.
bully each other because they want to.
Yeah. So I just, let's just make it universal and like
'Cause they
bullying.
look
No, but
different,
that's
'cause
part
they
of the
act
problem
different.
for me is, and I mean, I was queer. I got beat up by my family, not like bruised and battered, but they were the ones that picked on me. Nobody else did because my family was very protective. But it's like that sibling thing. I can beat you up, and nobody else can. I'll protect you. My thing was just don't make it just about everybody gets bullied.
Right.
And
Right.
but the focus I understand for It Gets Better is more so for the gay community and having that platform and having a support group to kind of reference to and find comfort with,
Right.
to belong to some kind of grouping. And I understand that. But I do believe, and this might sound bad, out of the crap, from destruction, there are good things that come out. Sharon Needles is a stronger person for me. Not that you want to get bullied, I'm just saying. But from that pain, she's hilarious. And I think that comedic timing and all of that comes from having gone through what she's gone through.
You know what it is she has no fear.
She is a gift to the world.
She has no
drag.
fear, though. She has no fear. She's
Right.
nothing scares her.
Because she's been down that road, she can handle
because
it.
she's been as low as you could possibly be, and then after that, nothing else matters.
And I'm
It's
not
like,
going to backtrack, but I'm saying that not everybody may be as strong as that, and some people do get to that precipice, and do I leap off or not? And I sympathize. I don't have the answers, and I'm not trying to portray that I do, but I do understand where it comes from. Like,
Because there
sometimes,
are
like,
people that can pull through and they have that will to rise above it, and then there are people that are just
Because I would hope I'm somewhat compassionate, but I do also believe we are animals too, and it's survival of the fittest. You're gonna go through shit.
but at a young age though, that's the only thing.
and then part of the purpose of the videos itself and doing a video or a movie about bullying is to say that this happens to other people. You're not the only one. There's a community of people out there that are like you that you can reach out to
Right.
and that you can be a part of versus being subjected to this. I mean,
You're
there's
not
one,
alone. I get it.
And Sharon even said, she was like, I moved because school is so horrible. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like there is the ability for you, if you are in a position like that, to say, I can't take it anymore. I have to go, instead of, inflicting pain upon yourself, make a positive change. Say, okay, I have to go and hang out with this other person or go and be a part of this other community.
And
But do you?
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
The danger or not the danger is sometimes it's not that easy to get out. I
Right.
mean, there's abused
true.
women. Again, lucky we live in America and we have entitlement issues in all aspects and all cultures. But, I'm not a female in the Middle East. I mean, come on. Some people have it hard.
Yeah.
I'm not having my
No, I
genitalia
agree. I
mutilated
agree.
either.
Praise
So-
the Lord
And
for
then you
that.
still
Ow. So, but again, I'm not trying to dismiss or belittle or negate the pain and suffering that anybody who's been bullied is going through. And I'm not trying to back. I'm just saying people go through shit. And I'm
agree.
glad that there is itgetsbetter.org for these people to reference, and maybe it's online late at night because they're hiding from their parents because they're not ready to come out. Hey, rock on, I get it. You have something to go to. So
Do we
appreciate it.
actually think that bullying is suddenly worse now maybe than when we were
No.
kids?
I'm saying that was the
This
question.
is my thing. What I'm wondering about, just because I feel like I don't like you. I don't want to make it seem like I'm not compassionate and I don't understand how horrible these things are. And it's awful that there are kids killing themselves and all these horrible things happening, and great, you make a movie about it. If it makes somebody feel better or changes somebody's life, then it was worth it if only one person gets saved because of it. But we've got a lot of attention on this right now, and I'm just curious. I'm kind of like, it makes me think, like, really, I mean, because yes, there was bullying when I was growing up, and I can remember things. I was never bullied myself. I wasn't a bully, but I've seen it and know whatever. So I just wonder, like, now, not are we making a bigger deal than it is, but sort of like these people, like, you go through these things and they make you better, you grow, you do whatever. Are we making something an elevated issue now because we have social media that's showing us all these things happening to people that we maybe didn't see before?
Absolutely.
Like, are we
Absolutely.
deciding?
Absolutely. It's because what we're seeing now is, like, when we were younger, you couldn't, there wasn't, the internet wasn't what it is now.
You didn't have
like,
people on Facebook like bullying you. Like, I read an article about this old woman, in her 30s, bullying a 12-year-old and telling her she should kill herself and blah blah blah. And I think the girl actually did commit suicide. Yeah, that was. And it's sad that even on Facebook this is bullying. And even there was this whole Perez Hilton thing where he had to tone down his website because he was considered a bully. You know, he was saying one thing, but then going on his website and talking trash about, celebrities and blah, blah, blah.
So you're saying you do think it's worse, or do you just think it's different?
I think it's different.
I think it's different.
I think it's different because when the way we used the internet when I was younger was to talk to your friends. Like, we would go on IM after school, and then, you have a list of...
How old are you?
Yeah, we went on IM after school.
You went on IM.
Hey,
But in that day, there was still fear of repercussion. When now this whole anonymity and people get brave.
Yeah, because now you can go, and when you were a kid, it's like you could go home and you had a space that was separate. Now the way computers are, they're an extension of yourself versus, like, if I used the internet, it was only to talk to my friends. I didn't use the internet to talk to, like, strangers or to have my pictures out there somewhere and then have a stranger come in and pick on me. It's less easy it's less easy to avoid strange people.
So do you think it's culturally more detrimental now than it was before, and that's why we should be making a big deal about it?
It's just different, and now we know more about it. It's different, and now you see more instances of people making a video on YouTube and then committing suicide. Like, people have made It Gets Better videos and then committed suicide.
But what about, like, for me, like, because I think Chad Michaels or Sharon Needles brought it up, like, he doesn't know, is bullying in the schools the same as it was 10 years ago?
And you think it's worse now?
No, it's just different. It's just different, and people are responding. We're learning about it and responding to it more because we have the media and the technology to do so.
I myself don't believe it's as severe as it was before. But also the difference is now we have more people are coming out at a younger age and clearly, like, I'm here, I'm queer. In elementary, it's very interesting for me, but it's also the danger of social media. I mean, I think
just say
it gives them the avenue. We become crybabies. You enter social media.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, that's where I'm trying to go. Like, are we just being, like, we've talked about hypersensitive about something that's been going on for ages, will continue to go on for ages because kids are going to be kids. Grown-ups do this crap to each other. So it never really changes.
You know what?
And is it just now that it's in our face more because we are so connected in every single way and the media follows everything?
But I think the difference now is that when kids are committing suicide and killing each other.
Have they not been? But has that been something?
But it's never been brought to our attention.
Now
it's just that we don't know about it. Now
now it's in our face.
Yeah. Now we have a direct link because before you wouldn't have you wouldn't know. You might be like, oh, maybe that kid was bullied or and then that's why they committed suicide, or maybe they had these other problems. You wouldn't know before, but now it's like you have an inbox of Facebook messages of bullying, and then the kid committed suicide. So you have a direct link between bullying and suicide, and that's what the problem is. It's like, how do you stand up and tell somebody that they shouldn't be committing suicide? I mean, because suicide in itself is tragic, and then
even like murder, like there's the kid that
Trayvon.
Well,
sorry.
Not even that situation, but there was this kid in Southern California, I think, who was a teenager. He cross-dressed and he told this boy that he liked him, and they were sitting in class. The little
shot
boy
him or
was
something,
sitting right in front of him. He brought a gun and shot him in the classroom. And I think news like that, yes, probably if we didn't have the media that we did.
Sorry, are we classifying that as bullying?
Yeah.
That's a form of bullying.
I think it's a form.
How is that a form
Really?
of bullying?
That's bullying. It's just bullying to the extreme.
He was teased.
Bullying.
He was teased, and like he was told that he was not allowed to dress the way he was by like administrators. That's bullying. That's saying, Jackie, you are not allowed to wear
It's a
a black
form of
shirt.
bullying.
Wait, hold on. Back it up, because I'm saying the kid that shot him was the bullier.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Well,
No, it does make a difference. Because you're saying the kid that shot him, he was bullied by this kid. There's a difference. He may have been bullied by other people, but you're talking about the person who shot him now. So I'm asking.
The person who shot him, the person.
So
Are
he's
you
He
not
didn't want to be
Sorry,
liked
though?
by him.
Yeah,
So
he didn't
that-
want it to be out in the open that this guy is like talking about me.
Was
and
he one of the
we're talking
bulliers?
baby.
There's a difference. I'm
He
sorry,
was
I believe there's a difference.
homophobic.
Yeah.
So he's not a bully.
I don't know if
You
he was
can
a
be
bully,
homophobic
but
and a bully.
that the main thing that they said about that was that the boy had said, "I like you," and that was the catalyst for why this guy shot him.
Not that he was bullied
Well, I mean, it was pretty much stated that he was constantly bullied
by this kid.
not by this kid. But what difference does it make? He would,
Because that's this is a bigger issue.
right.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I get what you're
is
saying.
Something separate. That's not to say that the kid wasn't
Right,
bullied.
right.
It's just that the guy. We want to separate the murder from bullying because the murder was a murder.
Like the guy who's tape, right? He had sex with another guy and he
Yeah.
got taped and got released. That wasn't bullying, but that was murder. That's
That's the invasion of privacy.
That's bullying too?
It's considered, in my opinion, it's bullying.
okay.
See, and here's the thing. It's hard to separate the fact that, so let's say you have this kid who's being bullied by all these other people, right? And then steps up and says he likes this other kid. So the other kid sees all the bullying that's going around and sees all that negativity. And then this is a result. Whether or not he is or not a bully or not is beside the point because
Right.
it becomes a result of bullying. The fact that this kid is like, okay, the majority, the bullies, the people in power, are saying that this kid is wrong, and I don't want to be associated.
And I think
with
and I
that.
think the
And
point of
you don't
the-
want to be associated with so much that you have to end that person's life.
I think that was the catalyst because he was being bullied himself for this kid liking him.
I believe in trying to understand other people, so I'm not gonna hate on that. I just don't agree.
Okay,
For myself.
that's fine.
Because I actually see where you're coming. I just don't agree.
So, okay, so we obviously, I guess the point of the question that Courtney brought up is valid. I mean, is bullying or are we making a big deal about out of nothing?
I think we are because we don't want.
I'm not saying nothing.
I don't think
think
it's
you're saying
nothing
nothing either.
at all. I don't want to say that it's nothing.
But is it any greater than it was before?
It's not. But the reason that people are talking up about it is because now we know that kids are dying from it.
Right.
I think that's the only difference. It's like
Are
not
you
that
sure
it wasn't
you didn't
before.
know that before?
I never knew anybody
Or
dying.
did you just not really consider it that big of a deal?
No,
Like
I
if a,
just
tree
back
don't
if a
then?
tree falls in the woods and nobody hears it, it didn't happen.
I just don't think people knew that kids were
Dying.
killing themselves
Right.
from it.
Because we have this outlet, we have Facebook. You get any information that you want on Facebook and
When
Twitter.
I was a kid, I
you know?
cannot
I was gonna ask him regarding the guy that you said the sex tape was released or whatever. I almost feel like that is sort of a version of the new bullying. I mean, I know it's not traditional bullying, but as Jackie and Kenny were saying, that's the difference. It's not the same.
Something
New.
different.
But it's something that drove this kid. Is this the kid that committed suicide
Yes.
based off that? That's
Yes.
Cam. That's got to be somewhat of bullying. I mean, if he's getting filmed, the tape's being released, and that's driving him to commit suicide. I don't know. Maybe bullying maybe not be the right term, but that's a bad situation altogether.
But I see bullying as when you think of like fascism is just bullying. It's just a huge scale form of bullying. It's like you can take people that have small seeds and they grow to be big, scary
So
people.
racism is bullying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kim Kardashian getting flowers thrown on her. That's bullying.
No, that was awesome.
I have to agree.
Totally
I'm sorry.
I thought that was the funniest thing
I
I've
thought it
seen
was
in a
hilarious,
long
too.
time.
Bullying
But
is
it
just
is
the
a form
action
but
that
you know
comes
what?
out of it.
But
Bullying is the
I
action.
feel like that can be considered bullying.
Of course it is.
So
sure.
I mean, hey.
God, we got Kim Kardashian and fashion.
I know. We've come full circle.
Wow.
But yeah, I agree with Ronnie and the whole the tape thing. I think
There's this got really serious because I think even with social media, I think us as human beings are not taking responsibility for some of that too.
Totally agree.
Accessibility, you got to take responsibility.
Who's
I'm
you
sorry.
as a person?
As a person, as a parent, all of that.
So
Well,
I know
parents
you
are
can't,
okay.
you can't control what your kid's doing. I get it, but we
you
open
can.
Pandora's box
That's
with
a
social
myth.
media. Now we need to take some responsibility for it. I mean, bullying has been around. People have committed suicide for a long
So
time.
okay, so the kids that are being bullied, they should have some responsibility. You know, take responsibility. Is that what you just said?
I think their parents should take
No.
some responsibility.
For them getting bullied.
No, for the children not being strong enough to come and seek help and find support. Because
Sometimes their parents are bullying them too. Though. Like, where do you go if you're the kid whose
you
parents are bullying you? And the
go to
kids at school are bullying you.
You go to school and kids are calling you fag, and you go home, you got pops, calling you queer, and you go cry into your room. Then what?
that's
What do
a
you do?
bigger issue than just being bullied. You have no support group. That's a whole different story.
Yeah, but that's
So-
why,
so then whose
arguably, that's why they put
responsibility-
out these
yeah.
videos.
So whose responsibility
That's why
is
they're
it?
responding to it, arguably. Because when I was a kid, I can't think of people who close to me who committed suicide from being bullied. But now you can see tons of kids who this happens to. So it's like, yeah, this might not have happened to me directly. Doesn't mean it's not happening. And now I know about it. And then the thing is, people like me who didn't have like a close friend commit suicide due to bullying sees that and says, okay, there's something wrong where it becomes so bad, the situation becomes so terrible that someone feels they have to end their own life. And that's when I think a global support system is a good thing.
Okay, so parents aren't a support group. Where do they go with that? Where do you go with that? Yeah, okay, great.
Trevor
it gets
Project,
better.
something like that.
It gets better.
But not.
I live in Iowa in the middle of nowhere. Where do I
That's
go with
true.
this?
Trevor Project.
How?
Suicide?
He's 11 years old.
Called,
Is
You
that
gonna
what
jump
you-
on a Greyhound bus?
no, you call.
You have this is my thing. So now I have a glimmer of hope it gets better, but I'm stuck in Iowa or wherever. I'm stuck. How do I get there?
There are people to talk to though that you can make. Like there are hotlines you can call. There are people that you can talk to.
There's always options. I completely believe in that. There
But
are
it's about
always
telling
options.
people that there are options.
It makes it you make it sound like bullying is not okay, but it's gonna happen, and
It's
There's
gonna
nothing we can
happen,
do
but
about
it
it.
depends on the level. It depends on the level, like
but it seems
depends
like there's
on-
no solution to the end or subsiding the bullying in like schools or in general, right?
I mean, has it not been around since like the beginning of
I
existence?
think what we're saying is that it hasn't gotten to the extreme.
Is it that it hasn't gotten to the extreme, or that culturally we are so broken down that we haven't figured out how to deal with something like this? Like, I don't think that.
I think we are dealing with it.
I don't think we
understand.
actually are. I think we're all just being hyped up about it, but nobody's actually dealing
Doing
with
this-
it. Because the whole thing about, say, Facebook, for instance. Okay, Facebook is this situation and these kids are getting it. Why are people under the age of 18 using Facebook at all?
It's a good question.
If we're really that concerned about these horrible things happening to all these children and killing themselves and making videos and doing all this stuff, why do they have access to this stuff? And why do we okay it? Because we do. We sanction it because we allow it, period.
We being who, the parents or the society?
Society in general.
Oh, Lord,
like,
yeah.
we make it an acceptable practice for Facebook to exist for these children, period. Children to make decisions that can cost lives. If we're saying that Facebook and all these horrible like social media things is what makes this so much worse because it's a different form of being on, why are we not restricting that in some kind of way?
Because this is the point where the social media, where the freedom of a person's right to express their individuality meets, the
Freedom of speech.
A
Yeah,
child
freedom
under
of
the
speech.
age of 18 has the same rights as a
Well,
grown-up.
here's my thing because
No,
I
I'm
don't
not saying
have.
that, but
I don't
I'm
have.
saying-
I'm not trying to like.
I don't
I'm
have
just
children. Yeah, I
placing that
get,
out
no,
there.
I get what you're saying. I don't have children under the age of 18, so I can't say, Johnny, you can't get on Facebook. I do agree with what you're saying. For me,
I don't understand what you're saying because I don't understand. My point was not that the government should police Facebook or
I'm not
that.
saying the government should police
I don't
Facebook
even think
at
they
all.
can.
I don't, exactly. I don't think it's an option.
Yeah.
I'm just saying from a cultural perspective, I feel like obviously that we're all in agreement that bullying has existed.
Right.
Right.
And unless we're gonna just say it's a source of natural selection, and those people that killed themselves, it's just kind of how it worked out. They weren't strong enough.
I do want to encourage everyone to continue the conversation, of course, on our YouTube page. And our iTunes. No, I swear it's not a plug. I think it is a good conversation. I think when I heard Courtney as passionate as she was, because she hadn't said anything for a while, so I knew there was something ready to go. And just, continue to support us and write those comments on, and talk. Keep the conversation going, because obviously what you guys are bringing is good stuff. So
And call us if you like.
Of course, call us. Help us try to figure it
But
out.
so let's wrap it up.
Let's
Courtney.
close it. I'll just close. I don't think that, obviously, I don't know an answer. I don't have an answer. All I'm trying to say is that I believe it has existed from the beginning of time. I believe that now we live in a different world. I believe that along with that different world, being the social medias and whatever, how they bully is different than how we bullied before, because they have access to different things that we didn't have before. I also believe that from a personal, cultural, raise our children perspective, we are also different. And that is where the problem is, not the other place.
Got it. And that is it. Thank you for watching. We'll be back next week. Call us. Call us 424-256-1729 next week. We'll be back.
Tweet
Same
us
time.
at AfterBuzz TV.
At KAYSEEH25.
Just go to YouTube. I will respond to you with my Twitter on YouTube.
There you go.
There you
You
go.
can tweet me at Tamakama777.
Stuart Starlet.
And we're done. Thank you for watching, guys.
I lose track of how many letters. I'm like, what?
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.